We will soon have our next talk, but before that, we have some sponsors in the room. As you all know, it's not only God who gets us along, it's not only God who pushes us forward. We have people we have companies, we have communities who are ready to push the GDG Bamenda community forward. At this point in time, okay, before that, we just have to move to the next call while our sponsors prepare themselves to enlighten us about what they do and how we can get involved with them and so much more. Before that, hope everybody has gotten the password. Please, laptops out. I don't know how they take a workshop and people will be just their phones. What's the issue? Please, laptops out.
We are going to have our first practical session. Don't put things on your download list like that. Yes. So now that because I've checked the screen now and it's wow to show that many people, please, this is for us to learn, right? So we are going to have our next speaker. How many of us remember? How many of us have been in the community for over a year? Yes. Last year there was one of our sponsors who did something very big. Right? Who won something very big? How many of us? Who can tell me what exactly was it? Yes? Correct. It was a fire-based competition. We don't want to mention the price now for security purposes. It is one of our proudest achievements as a community, or one of our proudest moments as a community, that one of us, it was not a Cameroonian competition. It was not an African competition, it was a global competition. So to have one of us here win in that category, it shows that it is possible for all of us. And that leads us to our next session. Our next session will be on building at scale with Firebase and cloud. So actually we had a GDE. How many of us know who GDEs are? GDEs, Google Developers Experts. Alright, so GDEs in essence are one of the highest ranking levels of Google recognizing people who have proficiency within their fields, right? So they are recognized as Google, like these are experts in their field. We have Firebase, we have Google Cloud, we have Flutter. It's mostly for Google technologies and also general technologies, right? So we have one of them who was supposed to be here, but due to one or two things that came up, we're not longer able to make it for their trip. However, there was a video that he recorded. So his name is Anthony Atua. He is a GDE for Flutter and Dart, and he has worked with several companies. He's a senior mobile developer. He has worked with many companies. I think currently he works with a company in the UK as a senior mobile developer. So I think we will have his presentation now. Please take a picture with your neighbor and post. Please.
Post to radio. The short one should show.
was deployed something that was built on Firebase Studio. Okay, so it's still in the laptop then. Alright, so we are going to start with a video, and after that we are going to go directly to the practical session. So we watch the video, it's about 17 minutes long, and after that we directly go into the coding session. For those who are not yet connected to it, try to be connected to it, and please go download it today. We are going to download it after the session. And so,
This part, and today we're going to be having a section on using a scale before I get teaching very, very basic for people who are into AI, who are AI engineers, and who wants to play a lot of stuff out there.
what's a laptop? Another question, who saw the application video? Who saw what the video in Firebase Studio? More hands.
More like image detection application.
Image detection.
Like it recognizes, you drew a smiley face. Using either code or AI or code reviews.
Right, so you build a Canva AI using Gemini. So what you do is you draw on it and you tell AI to predict what you're trying to draw. Right, that's what it does. So let's just represent this. Fit can you see it? And then you draw. This content warning allows you to read primary 6. Okay. So the network permits us. You see, we're able to draw something, right? And it just predicts what we're trying to draw. Now we're not going to be building the same thing as this because I want us to learn something very important here. You see, this was coded and deployed. Who can guess how long it took? Who can guess? Okay, so if I was asked you to build something like this, how long will it take you? No, I mean coding it. I don't care if you use ChatGPT because I know that most of you.
1 hour.
I went 1 month. Somebody even said 6. Okay, so this all took me about 5 minutes to build and deploy. Now you see, I'm accessing it through this web link.
So you can never reduce the size.
Yeah, this is more here. But if you can see here, right, this is a web link. So if you have to go to this same link, you are able to draw this. You are able to see the size that I'm able to draw it, right? Because I know if someone tells you now that give me a website, you're more scared of how to deploy the application and send, right? So let's all build something and we try to deploy before we get into the practical session. So for those who have Firebase open, let's all move to Firebase. Yes. Okay, so we are going to start. We are going to take it from the scratch, right? And we do just go to Firebase Studio. Just really fair, let's get an idea of the audience. What's something small?
Okay, I was suggesting we build either heads or tails game or throw the dice. So with the head and tail, you have to give out the program.
I need a description. If you were to do this now, how you describe it? Build
Build an app that lets the user flip a coin and detect whether it's a head or it's a tail. If it's a head, the user wins. If it's a tail, it loses, depending on the option that the user makes.
That allows the user, you could just type alongside.
Side.
To flip a coin.
Yes.
And if heads,
If heads win,
user wins, and
if tails lose, and otherwise.
otherwise.
Yes, vice versa.
Great. How all of us have gotten it? Who has typed it down already?
Let me read. Build an app that allows a user to flip a coin, and if heads, the user wins, and if tail, the user loses, and vice versa.
Are we there? Is it a connectivity issue? Yes, if not, thank you. Yeah. And if there was because the condition check. Are you there? Yes. Okay, so click on prototype and see what happens. There is if the user won or lose based on the outcome of the coin, and the game result is display a clear message indicating whether the user won or lost the apps, including the text congratulations. And now it goes down to the technical part. What are the style guides? What are the colors you need for this application? It gets a random of I see yellow. Brings yellow, white, and brings green, right? And it's telling you the layout is going to center the coin and we will use message on the screen. The typography, what text does it use, what font does it use. And we have the icons, we have the animations. And the same is going to build it with the stack of TypeScript, Next.js, and Table CSS. But let's say we do not want to use Table CSS. Let's say we want to use React, we want to use Angular. What are you going to do? You come now, you can edit the requirement. Editing the requirement contains a lot. What do you want? Is it that you don't like this gold color and you want it to be blue, pink, or red, or whatever you want it to be? This is where you modify it. We could tell it what to do, how should it center the information on the screen. Now we are going to go with the default so that we don't take so much time to complete this application. But once you are done with everything that is required, you now move to prototyping the app. So all of those who are here, are we going to prototyping the app? Yes. Great. Let's all prototype and see what we have. So you could see it is creating the files, right? Create the files, put the code in it, like tells you which files you modify. You're winning. Who has lose? Because everyone has lose.
I've been losing.
You're only losing. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. Good. 6 wins, 6 lose.
If you look here, who has seen edit code? Good. What edit code does is, if you click on it, it takes you to an IDE, something similar to VS Code. And what happens is, let's say maybe you are not really okay with the way this form is, and you don't know how to describe it to change it. You can go into the code and change it by yourself. And when you go into the code, you still have another AI that's in your place, like AI is everywhere you go. You use the AI here, you go into the code, use the AI still to edit the code, right? And now, one last step. Publish. Now what this does is, before, what you do is, you are going to finish this app, and then you are going to now call one guy that event was wearing an AWS t-shirt or a Google t-shirt, and you're asking how do I take this app online, right? Now it's just with the button. Everybody click on publish and see swap. So we are all going to be here as well. You see, we're just click on publish. Those are the steps. First of all, for it to be published, it needs to be a Firebase project. You have to link the cloud billing account. There's some work, I'm going to have some issues, but at the end, you just enable Firebase services. So now, when you create the Firebase account for the beginning, it gives you some credit, so you don't have to use your own money. But the only issue is you have to link your card to be able to have that billing account, which I did, and you know it's okay. Yes, I have to link the card. Yes, I'm a green card holder. Yes, I'm going to share the card. Okay.
There are free cloud credits that we like. I think we're going to provide a link to that answer, so that even when you go back home, you can use it to prototype further with it. We're going to provide. That was what we were listening.
Yeah, it's not really a can. You will need to subscribe to it because there's going to be something that you take home and do, and there's a price code. Because someone completes it. Alright, so we are publishing. And you see, it's already telling us that when it's done, you'll be able to access the app at this link. So whenever you are done with your client's application, you'll now be like to access their website, go to that link, and you're going to be able to get the app. So once it's done, this is what you're going to see. Just because of time, we will not complete this because it needs about 5 minutes, but we will not have to touch anything. Just see, and the next 5 minutes and you'll be available. Through the post, here are a few things involved. Okay, so through the post, you have text, right? Just like what Twitter does. You have a text telling you to write what's in your mind, and you can add just one image, not multiple images. And when you have written the text and then added an image, you have the post button. We are not going to make the post now because we have other posts here. So this is a sample of how a post will look, and this is how a sample of a post that an image will look. And what you have to do is, you see, just make it good. Choose your name, you have a logo, and now this is a tricky part. We need you to authenticate this user. We don't want it to be free to everybody. I know I'm not authenticated, I come to your app, I review posts, but to make a post, I need to be authenticated. And now there are two types of authentications that could be done. Let's just log out from this user and you're going to see something. Good. I'm trying to create a post, I'm not logged in. It's telling me, sign in via Google to continue as a guest, right? Now with Firebase, you could be a guest, but it still keeps an authentication for you, called anonymous user. On your system, it's not everybody that will provide you their Google information. But if they do, when I take sign in, just like the normal one will do, it takes me to another page and I have the option of deselecting my Google account. What about that? That Firebase has to be for anonymous user. And you can have this anonymous users on your platform. When you sign in, it's going to give up its 74 information and 74 profiles which should be used. Or I use my Google account, right? And then the post contains text and an image. So now what is the assignment? Write it down any way you can. It should look something similar to this. It must not be this. You can impress us further, right? Build something amazing. You could even do like flying emojis and everything. Impressive. So here's how you're going to do it. You build it today and you post it either on Twitter or on LinkedIn, and you tap Jiddy Chipamenda and you tap me. You can tap me at Never Desmond. Yes, Never Desmond C. Yeah. Just tap me at Never Desmond C. Yes, on Twitter or LinkedIn. We are going to evaluate all of those posts you make this night, and by tomorrow, the next one is going to be having a prize. I don't say how huge is it because they will not pack it in front of this event hall. So we will have to order it. So complete your post, complete the application, make a post, tag us on Twitter or LinkedIn. We are going to evaluate them, and by tomorrow we will name the winner from the session. So any question? I think that's it for our presentation and this workshop. Any question?
For clarification, should we put the link to the demo or maybe the screen record of the demo?
Thank you. That's very important. You should post the screenshot, right, of what you have alongside the link for those who are able to publish. Now, if you're not able to publish, just put down your screenshot, but just have in mind that those who actually publish it and put the link on their post.
Record.
No, just images. It's going to be too much. So just pictures, right, and a link. Those who have links that will be at the higher position. If you don't have a link, just post the picture. We're going to evaluate and we are going to get a winner tomorrow. Any question? Yes, please.
Okay, I have questions or just simple applications like this one.
Very interesting. Can it be used to build complex applications? Yes. You can use it to build very complex things. And you don't just build complex things, you can import projects into it. Take that, you already have an application that people are working on, right? And it's already on GitHub. What you can do is, at the start of Firebase, when you just go to the first page, they ask you what you want to do. Do you want to type an app? Do you want to code in a particular framework, or do you want to import a project? can import your project, and the advantage, you can study the code base for you. And when you study it, it has more context on how you come up on it. So with that, you can even contribute to external projects, and you're going to work on it. No, anything. With Firebase, you can do anything. App, web, everybody. No, for the assignment, feel free, explore anything you want to, but it should be done on Firebase Studio, right? Because we are going to check this video. Yes. But you must not do the education, right? Just end where you can end and make your post. But the person who does the education and publishes the file more than this.
Is it before the year ends or before?
No, like I'm going to start checking them around 2 a.m. So you should have made the post before 2 a.m. You don't have money to publish. No, you don't need to have money to publish, right? You can use a card that is empty. You can create a card. There are so many sites. Emerson, Basic card. There are so many sites you can create free cards, right? To create a free card, you just need your ID card. Your parents' ID. So you say for that one. Yeah. Any other thing? Alright. Thank you guys.
Clap. You don't have to have all these skills. All you need to do is just be able to prompt, give further context, do research, and yeah. So please, we want to see creative. Don't just replicate exactly the same thing that he has done. We want to see how you are able to do creative stuff. And like our patient says, this applies to, I think they are my classmates, that some lazy classmates who use this to do their project in one night. Yes, and it's invented and they are excellent. But this is not to say that's how you're supposed to do. I'm just saying that it enables us developers to be able to do things quickly, right? Mastering the basics is important. AI helps you to scale. So whatever project that you're thinking that you can create, right? It is now possible because if you can describe it, it can be done, right? If you can describe it, if you can describe it, if you can describe it, so that's the power of AI. So I think we'll be moving now to the next presentation. We are almost at the end of the day. Alright, before that we are going to speak about one of our sponsors, AfricanNet. So AfricanNet, who here was used the internet during that period, I think in 2017 when they shut down the internet? 3 months. Oh, sorry. How many of us were around or had an hour who knew about that period where there was no internet for 3 months? Great. So during that period, some developers within an ecosystem, they created an application that enables you to use the internet without internet. How? You can, so what they did was that you can use SMS to be able to, for example, on Twitter, right? You can tweet using SMS. And currently it's being used, I think, in over 100 countries, in Ukraine, in Israel, where internet has an issue. This is the company AfricanNet. The name of the application is called SMS Without Borders, and enables people to be able to access digital services without explicitly having the internet connection, right? So they are one of our sponsors, and they are one of the people that are actively building the ecosystem. I think you'll find some of them around tomorrow to speak for us. So that's one of our sponsors. Immediately, we're going to go to our next speaker of the day, Yunwen Eric. He's going to be speaking to us about community. And this is 3 years back, I was a normal attendee. 2 years ago, I was a volunteer. Last year, was I still a volunteer? No, last year I was an organizer. So this is my first year as an organizer. This tells you about growth in the community. And it's not just about, standing here. Many of you are just, these guys are standing here. But it's a lot of progress over time. And there's a lot that we have tried to benefit them as serving the community and being a part of the community as well. And so he's going to talk and learn about it. We are already behind time, so I think he will just come up now. Please, can we give a round of applause as he comes?
So this year, when I thought about talking during DevFest, I had in mind people always see me talking about technical things. So I decided this year I will not talk about tech. I'm just going to talk about other things that are very important and probably I ignore sometimes within the community. And I hope that through this talk, today I'm going to try as much as possible not to be like a nerdy developer, but to be an inspirational speaker. Alright, while my slide is still reloading. Is there anybody here that's read the book Mon Fromage? Who moved my cheese? By the legend Spencer Johnson. Anybody who moved my cheese? It's a very short book, a very, very nice book. I recommend that after this. If you have time, just find a copy of the PDF and go through it. It's going to change your perspective a lot about who moved my cheese. Who moved my cheese? Yeah. It's been translated in languages. Okay, so while slides are low, I joined the community in 2016 with GDG Birmingham, and I was just, back then I was doing chemistry. And it was a very interesting opportunity for me to learn and network with other people. I studied chemistry in school. Because I was into the programming, so I could actually meet with some people that were doing tech stuff, and we used to marvel me. And through the community, I got to learn, I got to meet people, I got to build stuff with them. And the years, throughout the years, I learned a lot. And I think the community is a very, very powerful place to start. And if you're here today, I'm going to encourage you to really engage in the community. And hopefully it's going to be an opportunity for someone to be transformed. Okay, so I'm going to the previous slide. Alright, so this is me, you and Eric. Alright, so today we'll be talking about community. We'll be thinking what it truly means. What does it mean community? And I'm not going to start by telling people that according to Oxford Dictionary, community is we've done that a lot, and I think we should use a different approach to start our business. I'm a software developer and the founder of Together. I'm not going to talk a lot about Together, but it's into mentorship and orientation. Business life. Alright, who moved my cheese? A metaphor for community change. This book was written by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And in this book, he expresses 4 characters, business like 4 characters. So these characters, things like these characters have to go into a maze. Who doesn't know what a maze is? Okay, everybody knows what it is. So we go into a maze and randomly move about looking for cheese and food to eat. And all of these characters will all express some characteristics that are very unique to each other. And you can clearly see, I mean, just from the picture, you can actually tell how someone will actually behave. Let's start with the first character. Things like this. So we have Hen. So Hen is the resistor. He's that person that resists change. So this is a typical example of people that are very comfortable where they find themselves in a specific place and they just feel like I cannot move from here because I'm just comfortable. They hold back progress, they refuse to try new things, they refuse to adapt to new leadership, and to engage in new formats. Just an example of him is probably all of us, because naturally human nature has a tendency of being very, very lazy. And it was normal. Think about it. Several years ago, you tell yourself, I'm going to school, it's stressful. That time I'm going to have a job to change everything. The one day you suddenly have a job. The first day I work, I'm almost end, right? What's the going to work on the first day? Probably nobody. You go very Then when you work for 1 week, maybe you complain once. When you work for 2 weeks, 1 month, what happens when you become the boss? It becomes different, right? Sometimes you have to talk to work when everybody's already there. And it gets even interesting when you get to that point where you actually go to the company. Some people will not even come to work, right? So there's the natural tendency of human beings being lazy. Alright, that's the typical characteristic of N, Let's go to the next person. So, what are we learning from N? Change is hard, right? But staying stagnant is harder in the long term. We all can agree to this. Please, let's go to the next slide. How? So, how is this person? So, what happens during when they move into the maze is they found cheese one day. So, how they move in pairs? Okay. If you go back to the first slide, you notice that hen and cow are actually people, while snake and curry are mice. So, hen raises change. So, when they moved into the maze, they found cheese, right? Started eating cheese. And hen is someone that adapts. Once he found cheese, he ate, he became comfortable, and he was just okay. He didn't even think about tomorrow. And that's the person that resists change. He's very comfortable where he is. The next character is how this guy is a learner. This characteristic is someone that actually resists change at first, but with time he gets to adapt because he discovered later on that the more he ate cheese, the more it diminished. So he was skeptical about if he would find cheese the next day. So what unique trait, everything eventually this guy learned that to get on board with new, eventually you have to get on board with new change after seeing the value. This kind of people are people that learn and they adapt by getting involved and experimenting around. And we have a lot of people like this within the community as well. Please can we go to the next slide? So this is how to the learner. So this is what how tells us. Well, the sooner you embrace change, the sooner you will see growth. Can we go to the next slide? Alright. So scary is a mouse. And this is what his characteristics typically what Scary and Sneak actually did when they went into the maze is when they found cheese, they ate cheese. But they were now they had in mind that they need to look for new cheese that will be found somewhere else within the maze. Right? And the classic example of this that I learned is actually these mice, they actually can adapt even faster than human beings. If you look at it typically, like even within the quarter, right, you see rats around or mice around. It's funny how they behave, right? You see them walking under the rain and you wonder how they do it, right? But that's just a classic example of survival instinct. So what happens to Scary? This is his characteristic. Scary is the doer person. This is character 3. So this is a classic example of people who take action when things need to be done. They don't overthink. So Scary just takes immediate actions, and these are all volunteers that are in our community. I'm going to really speak a lot to how our community behaves. Can we move to the next slide? So from Scary, we learned that sometimes the best way to navigate change is to act and to learn along the way. And we have a lot of people within the community to that come. They don't have the skills, they learn, they adapt. Can we go to the next slide? We are going to talk about Sniff. Sniff is the last character of this book. Now, Sniff is the person that is a very early adopter. So, community is a classic example of members that recognize change before others even do. They sense new trends, opportunities, and challenges early. In the community, Sniff helps to grow at that early by introducing new ideas and studying new tools. And we as well have people within the community like this, right? If you are a snake, it's a nice piano. Alright, let's go to the next slide. So from Sniff, you are learning that the quicker you adapt, the more opportunities you see. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is the cheese in our community. I'm talking about cheese. I hope everybody knows what cheese is. Who does not know what cheese is? Okay, everybody knows what cheese is. Can we go to the next slide? Cheese within our community is actually all of those opportunities. It's actually all of those benefits that we get when we get engaged in community activities. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so cheese within the community can represent learning opportunities that are provided by to us through community engagements, through workshops, through training. There could be career advancement. Cheese could be networking opportunities with industrial leaders. Cheese could be being part of a supportive environment. It could be just a new skill and experience you're learning. This is what cheese within this context means. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, now this is the question. What happens when the cheese moves away? Because this is what happened in the maze, right? People, 4 characters went into the maze, found cheese, started eating. One discovered this cheese is going to finish anytime soon. So they had to move. What happens when the cheese within the community moves away? Cheese represents all of these learning opportunities that we have. And within the community, what do you realize? As the days go by, new technologies evolve. You have to adapt, you have to learn, right? So, do we get stuck or do we adapt? I don't know if this is a question, but it's a rhetorical. I don't need an answer, please. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, the maze as a whole that I explained earlier on is actually the community. It's actually where we find all ourselves. It's where we have the cheese. It is where we have all of these opportunities that present themselves onto us. Now, the characters within this related to the community is you, it's me. Now, we have some people within the communities that are hand, we have people within the community that harm, we have people within the community that are scary, and we have people that are slaves within the community. Next slide, please. Now, how do we navigate the maze of community change? We have changing technologies, we have evolving needs of members, we have new leaderships that are stepping in, we have shifting formats for meetups and events. I remember during COVID, people didn't have to meet physically. So what happens? We have to adapt, right? Okay, next slide. So, just like in the book, the maze will always change. That's the thing. The community will never remain the same. Things will change. Things that we did back in 2015, 2017, it's probably not what we are going to do. Of course, we have maybe meetups like this, but it will probably be completely different from the way we interact. Now we have workshops, now we have opportunities to network, which probably we did not have back in the past. So, it is how we navigate the changes that really matters within the community. Okay. So what are the lessons we are learning from all of the story of the maze and whatever? If you've not heard anything, please just pay attention here. So, lesson number 1. If you do not change, you will become extinct. Right? This is a classic example of what happens when AI came, right? Remember those people were left behind, and that is what becomes of you, become extinct. Okay. Can we have another example of someone, of some jobs specifically that have, that maybe some people that lost their jobs because of AI? Yeah. We have software developers. Yeah, software developers. JavaScript. Yeah. Google. So over 5,000 developers were laid off due to the advancement of AI. Of course, we had developers that have actually been laid off because of work that had to be done by human beings. With time, what happened? AI is now replacing a lot of people, right? For example, jobs that just require a little bit of automation, right? Junior developers, those ones that go and learn how to build a website in 2 hours, right? And
once you're maybe 2 hours ahead, you feel like you can do everything. Before you know it, AI has replaced you. And a good example of that is just the session that just passed, right? What did you notice? Just look at what we were able to build. In how many minutes was that? Take yourself back to like 5 years back. You spend probably 2 weeks or even a month on this thing, right? Trying to build it, it was very complicated, but now with time and the advancement of AI, it's much more easy. And this is a call to everyone within this space. You have to stay engaged and you have to learn, because if you don't learn, you'll be left behind. Sadly, the slides have vexed, so I have to continuously lead the room. I ended at, you become extinct. So what would you do if you were not afraid? We have people that are afraid of change, right? The classic example of the person that was afraid in my story is Head, right? He's the person that is very resistant to change, the first character, right? When change comes, he's just so afraid. He's wondering, what would it be something I'll be comfortable with? Because that's something he's very good at. He's very comfortable. When change comes, what do we do within the community? We adapt. Right, and that is what has been happening over the years. If you do not adapt, you'll be left behind. The next slide, movement in a new direction helps you to find new cheese, right? Those that remain within the maze, right, and did not want to move. The mice actually moved first, right? In the story, actually, when you read, you notice that the mice actually, while they found the first cheese and started eating, Snake started asking himself, what will happen when this cheese gets finished, right? So he was already thinking about, I need to find new cheese. And from the explanation I said here, cheese represents what? All of those opportunities that present themselves within the community, learning opportunities, opportunities to network, right? What happens within this community if GDG Bamenda decided that, okay, this year we are not doing DevFest? Right, I know some people will be wondering how do we do the food thing, but then, right, we have to adapt, right, because those opportunities, the opportunity that will always be presented to us, maybe to me during the fest, it's no more there. So what do? We need to adapt, right, and we have to move, right, to find new cheese. All right, finding new cheese might mean you displacing yourself somewhere else, right? Finding new cheese might be that, for example, if GDG Bamenda decided there's no DevFest this year, you attend DevFest, Bambili, or you attend DevFest, Goya. That's finding new cheese, okay? All right, what mindset do we need within our community? This, I really wanted this like to be shown here. Whatever. So these are the mindset that we need to have within the community is to be open to change. If you read within the context and everything I've been explaining, right, see that people that benefited a lot along the way are people that adapted to change, right? So if you are open to change, there will always be opportunities that present themselves, and once we are ready and we meet those opportunities, we can get to success. Another thing is we need to take action when it's time. It might not be perfect, but just take an action. For example, we are here at DevFest Bamenda today. A lot of things will be said in this room, and after this, what becomes of it? I have the opportunity that when I talk in events like this, after this, a lot of people will meet me. Hello, I love your talk. And I'm like, yeah, it was good. Then they tell you, I need your help on this. And I'm like, yeah, I will. But then, 1 week from there, everything changes, right? 1 week from there, you probably don't hear from them again, and you meet with another event, and they're like, yeah, we met at, right? So please, we need to take action. Yay, electricity back. So we need to take the necessary actions in order to attain the goals. It might not, as I said, it might not be perfect, all right? But it's about the consistency you put in place. There are people that we meet within the community. They don't really have the skills, but just the desire that they have within them, right? It just pushes other people to interact with them. Personally, I have that experience. I have people that I've met people that probably don't even know how to code or do anything, but they just have this desire to learn.
And just from there, you have to present yourself to those opportunities, because those opportunities were provided for us as well. Just an opportunity to give back. People are always looking within the communities, opportunities to give back. And if you're another person that is pushed through, please don't think that this event, someone must come to you to ask you what you're doing or whatever. If you don't present yourself to someone and tell that person what you're doing, there's no way that person might probably know what you're doing. You might have $1 billion idea in your mind, and so long as it's in your mind, it's not, and you're not telling anybody, it's going to stay in your mind. Okay. Help others to adapt. This is another thing that is very important in community. I speak this especially to those that have the opportunity to give back within communities. Please do well to help others, because at one point you were actually there, you needed the help. So if you have the opportunity to give back, do not hesitate. And you might be thinking that it has to be a big thing. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. All of us have our own unique way of giving back to community. Giving back to community might just mean you showing up for the event. If you didn't come here today, probably that seat will be empty. So you're contributing in one way or another. Alright, next slide please. So I'm talking about the mindset that we need to have within the community. Let's have the mindset of giving back. Let's have the mindset of learning from our mistakes as well. The reason why GDG Bamenda has been able to grow over the years is because as time goes on, we make mistakes, we learn from them, we improve, and we move ahead. And it's a call to anybody here. Don't be scared that I'm going to make a mistake, because it is from those mistakes that we learn. This next slide. Okay. So at the end of all of this, what is the community then? I told you I'm not going to tell you anything from Oxford Dictionary today. Next slide. A community is just a maze of opportunities that are presented to you. And what you do with those opportunities that are presented to you is really what matters. This is the community will probably thrive for several years. And people will come and go. People will come and stay, people will come and engage themselves. But what really matters at the end of the day is the action, the steps that you are taking at the personal level to involve yourself in what is happening within this community. Okay, can you go back a little bit? So I was point one. Alright, the community is a maze of opportunities, yes. The second point is the community is point two. It's about mindset and roles. Everyone within the community has a unique role to play. You must not be the lead of GDG Bamenda to give back to the community or to be valuable to what we are doing here. Right. As I mentioned, just you coming and sitting in this place today is already a contribution to what we are doing here within the community. And I'm encouraging, this is a recommendation to everyone here. Don't just come and sit and go back. Come and sit and go back. There are people that tell themselves that after years, next year is going to be different, next year is going to be different. I personally think the reason why DevFest is organized at the end of the year like this is because very soon you start making those New Year resolutions. What is it going to be? Will it be next year I want to be more involved? I want to be more involved with what is happening within the community, or will it just be another cycle of you promising yourself that I'm going to try again and see how it's going to go? Alright, next slide. Another thing is about contribution, not just consumption. Please, this goes to people that think DevFest is just where I come and eat and take good pictures at the end of the year. You have your own contribution to do. It's not just about coming for consumption. Think about what would happen if everybody just came today to eat and have good pictures and post on LinkedIn and go back home. All of us have a valuable contribution to give to community. Next point, please. Community is about staying engaged in a shared vision of the future. Right now, the leadership of GDG Bamenda has a lot in mind for the upcoming year. Right? I'm sure that as time goes on, they are going to expound on this and tell you, okay, as from next year, we are going to be organizing this and that and that. But it's a shared vision. It's not just linear that has everything or what was that your alphabet? It's not just about the head coming to stand in front of us and tell us about her app like it's garden, cassava leaves, and those stuff. But it's about a shared vision. All of us have something to give back to community. I think it's the last point. Okay, conclusion. And this is a call to action. As a whole, what am I trying to say here? Please, next slide. Here is right. The cheese will always move. The cheese will always move. Remember what the cheese was, right? The opportunities that present themselves within communities. The cheese will always move, but community success depends on the ability to move within. So those that are like, I have learned JavaScript and I'm just okay with ES5, I don't care about anything that's going to happen after that, you'll be left behind. The cheese is going to move. So you have to move along with the community. All right. Next slide, please. Whether you're a slave, you're a scurry, you're a ham, or you're out, it is important to recognize that where you fit and take responsibility, that you fit. It's important to recognize where you fit within the community and take responsibility of moving the community forward. As I said, the community is a shared vision. It's not just one person. It's not just Google that is going to tell us that, okay, you have to do things always this way. We have to take our own personal initiative, irrespective of who you are. It is true that we will probably never have a community that has just names. We are going to have a community that has all of these characters. But then everybody has a role to play. Next slide, please. What changes are you going to take? To keep our community thriving? This is a call to action to everybody today. You're seated in this hall. Tomorrow is day 2. Will you show up or will you just stay in your room? What are those actions that you are ready to take? What are those steps that you are taking today? Are you going to promise yourself again? Last year at DevFest, I saw the pictures displaying and I was like, hey, that's me, I'm looking good in those pictures. And probably they'll take another picture today and next year I'll say, hey, that was me. But then the question is to you this morning, what is that action? What is that step that you're taking? You just, okay, as from today, I'm going to decide that I'm going to be very active in the GDG community. I might not really be that person that will come and be doing all of the fancy things within the community, but I might just be that person that just responds to people that write in the WhatsApp group. That when someone writes something, I just want to be genuinely interested in what that person is writing and understand what they're doing. That's what community is about. I don't know if there's any other slide left. Thank you very much for listening. That is the end of my presentation.
We have people in our community, like we said, for instance, hen, who are adamant to change. Like, what measures can you put in place, like help those people move with the community? Because we know in our community nowadays, some people, they don't just like change. So what can we do to help them, or to change their perspective, to change their idea of change? Because some people see change as, how can I put it? Some people see change as a way of destructiveness, destroy their vision. But while change, we know change in a positive way. So how can we carry out this?
Thank you very much for elaborating on the fact that change can be positive as well as change can be negative, right? I guess in all of my context, I was trying to explain, I was talking about positive change, right? You engaging yourselves in the community. But I think there are a lot of steps already that we provided, even within the community, for people to engage in the activities that are happening within. For example, I'm quite aware that the head always writing the group who is available to go to this place. Like, simple, let me give you an example. Last week, you had to go to CTFM, and 2 weeks before then, you went to CRC, and they actually wrote in the group that who is available to go there. That was just an opportunity that presented itself. And just few people actually showed up. These are some very minor opportunities that are really living within the community that a lot of people really just ignore or maybe don't pay attention to. So these are some of the steps that the community is doing. But then I don't really want to expand on what is the community doing for people to stay engaged or to get themselves involved. I really want to tilt it towards what are those personal initiatives that we are taking personally to get ourselves involved. See, here is the simple truth. if you don't get yourself involved or engaged, you will left behind. So it's a call for everyone to sit up, right? It's true that there's this fear of change. I have been using VS Code all my life and I have to switch to Android Studio now, and you're just scared about everything. See, the nice thing that I've done about change is very interesting once you get yourself, once you accept it. Like, that's one of the points of explaining earlier that you need to be open to change. If you are open to change, irrespective of what comes, you adapt to this. You actually realize that later on that you are far off better than the way you were before. So some of these initiatives, as I mentioned, there are always a lot of opportunities that the community will provide. I mean, where is random? Right. That's another opportunity that the Google community also provides for people. So there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that the community is already doing. Even here today, I think as a personal initiative that you don't even need to be an organizer to get yourself involved in the things that are happening here. A lot of people just want to sit and they come and serve you. But I want to call attention today to you can actually serve without even being called. If you're a lady and you showed up today and you're like, you know what, I just want to take the TV or the coffee that was there and share it with people that are in this place. You must not be an organizer to do that. Right? But it's a personal initiative that you are putting in place, right, to get yourself involved. And I think that we should look at it more of like, what are we giving to the community and not like, what is the community providing for us? Thank you very much. Okay.
Community. So just give Zeric about 2 minutes to talk about together.
Oh, thank you very much. So together is, we don't look at it more of like a community, we look at it more of like a program, because we partner with communities to run what we are doing that is completely into ed. So principally what together does at the moment is mentorship and orientation in tech. And over time I've seen the need of having a mentor in technology or because the world is changing, the way we learn changes as well. Take yourself back to the late 90s or the early 200s. You notice one of the easiest ways to work is listening yourself to a call or to a live meeting of a book and reading, right? Then we have the investor mission that came later on. But then YouTube is gradually changing as well. People are learning through advanced tools like AI. But then there's the need for you to have someone actually to learn from. I have learned from times that it's easy for me to learn a concept very, very fast from someone that already knows it and me learning from my own. So what we do during our mentorship program is we just assign you to a mentor that is your field of interest. Together does UI UX, data science, mobile development, and web development at the moment. You cannot hear me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So I was saying together does mentorship and orientation. So our mentorship program is tilted to those we have direct access to, like you can have a phone or a computer. It's completely online. You don't have to space yourself. So you assign a mentor that works with you 12 weeks. 12 weeks, that's 3 months. And our vision is to have a program where you have 4 levels. So 12 weeks level 1, 12 weeks level 2, 12 weeks level 3, 12 weeks level 4. And if you sum that all together 3 times 4, right? 12 weeks actually 3 months. So take 3 times 4, that's going to make a year. Our desire is that even if you don't know anything about tech and you come to our level 1 and you're able to go to level 2 to level 3, by the time you're going to level 3, you should be at the point where we can actually send you, outsource you for an internship. It's crazy to think that in Cameroon, people actually go for internship and pay the company to do an internship there. It's crazy. And this is attributed to the fact that a lot of people do not even have the skills. So what the company can do with you is, we can send you to buy bread, right? So this is very important. That's why we do this so you can learn, and at the end of that, we can actually outsource you for opportunities that we have. Our orientation program is tilted towards those in secondary schools because we realize that people go to university, learn chemistry, and later on they start producing soap and sabon for us. So a lot of orientation programs we want to help you to actually choose or make informed decisions when it comes to career. A lot of people have made that mistake. You just maybe choosing a career because your friends are actually doing it or your parents are forcing you to do something. So we do orientation where we have a lot of people that volunteer in our orientation program. Thank you very much. We show up our orientation, we do assessment of your academic performance, and we do a survey where we understand what you love and combine that together to do recommendations for career. We always launch our opportunities to go to schools and do orientations there. So if you want to know more about us, you have this together.com, or you can follow us on social media, you see what we do, and if you want to get involved, as I said, and opportunities presented, depends on what you do together. Thank you.
Who knows of Quad? Who uses Quad? Well, so as we all know, it's a finance company. They have an application where you can save money, manage your finances, and make sure that you don't spend beyond your budget. You set goals and you're able to save until that point in time. If you're not able to save until that point in time and you withdraw the money, you'll pay charges. I guess we do that. So manage those finances. If you're going to get your December trip, make sure it's on your budget and you save up for it. So we also have UNIB agency, which is a marketing agency. We realize that we have so many projects coming up. We build projects, but how do they get out there? How do you get people to use it? You have excellent projects sitting back there. How do you ensure that somebody in the community who needs that project or that application reaches that person? Marketing is very important, which is something that we tend to forget. And UNIB agency is an agency that can get your product out there. So if you need any advice, consulting, or anything related to marketing your product, do reach out to UNIB agency. We also have Peter Kola. Who knows the managing director of Peter Kola? Nobody knows her. She's a product of this community. If you look around Cameroon, you will hardly see design agencies in Cameroon because obviously people just think they can just pop out of nowhere and find a designer that does the work. So they actually do consultancy, designs, and so much more. She was once an organizer. She's an OG of the community. She was going to be here today, but unfortunately she could not make it. But I'm sure most of you know about her. If you look up on her Twitter, LinkedIn, you'll find information and designers try to link up mentorship. If you get as your mentor, trust me, you're getting the best. We have with us Beatsback Tech. It's a company which has supported us throughout this event. They offer software solutions, web development, and internships for those who are looking forward to have internships. They're based in Cameroon, and you can always get internships with them. On the other hand, we have there is Premier Dev, one of our core sponsors. Those are the people that never let us go through an event without sponsoring our event. I want you to give a hand of applause for Premier Dev. Most of our Premier Dev is a non-profitable organization. They always ensure they sponsor because their goal is to ensure that youth in Africa are able to solve the problems that we have here, produce solutions, and we're able to build our various communities in Africa without help from outside. We're able to make use of technologies and ensure that they sponsor these events so that we're able to get those skills and build our community. Because obviously we cannot say everybody will go to their office and see them learn, get the skills, but how do they get to all the youths? They sponsor events like this for us. We also have the BTMs from the BTM family, Bamenda, which is just a female-based community under GDG. I don't know, all the ladies here, please, are you part of BTM, Bamenda, or Bambi? Who are those that are part of those communities? Wow. shocking. I was expecting everyone to be up because I remember I sent the link to the group to join the BTM, I think. But please, we'll do that again. Ladies, please join the community. We try to give out special treatment for the ladies. Guys, no bias, please. No bias. We want the ladies to come up. They should be able to have skills that will make them stand up in the market like you all do. It's just for encouragement. We have Apex Pay. I think most of you know AWS, cloud services, and all of that. Who knows of cloud services? Please, I want you to give a very big round of applause for Apex Pay. They have been one of our major sponsors for this event. They showed up out of nowhere when we knew that things were going down, but they showed up for us. They offer cloud services. It's a company based here in Cameroon. I mean, we're busy with AWS. For those people out there in the Western region, they have AWS, they have Google Cloud and all of that. We have our own here. We should make use of our own services. Try to look up Apex Reef online. Make sure you use their services. Please, pleading, so you can check out them. Tomorrow they'll be here. You get more information from them personally. Unless there's somebody here or from Apex Reef. Okay, that will be it for our sponsors now. Then we will move on to a tongue twister. Let's exercise a little bit. Now I'll need packet because big packets probably Yes, good. That's a challenge for the next table.
If the packet hits the pocket on a socket on a port and the box is interrupted as a very last resort and the address of the memory makes you floppy disk aboard, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report. If the packet hits the pocket on a socket on a port and the box is interrupted as a very last resort and the address of the memory makes your floppy disk aboard, then the socket packet pocket has an error. If the packet hits the pocket on a socket on a port and the box is interrupted as a very last resort and the address of the memory makes your floppy disk aboard, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report. If a packet hits the pocket on a socket on a port and the box is interrupted as a very last resort and the address of the memory makes your floppy disk aboard, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report. If a packet hits the pocket on a socket on a port and the box is interrupted as a very last resort and the address of the memory makes your floppy disk aboard, then the socket packet pocket has an error to report.
Six systems administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly. 6 systems administrators synchronize system.
Let's give you one more try.
Six systems administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly. 6 systems administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly. 6 systems administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly. 6 system administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly. 6 system administrators synchronize system settings seamlessly.
Seven supercharged servers seamlessly stored synthetic startup statistics, stopping suspicious scripts from slipping into secure spaces. 7 supercharged servers seamlessly stored statistics. Shit.
The word is sensitive. You can start all over.
7 supercharged servers seamlessly store sensitive startup statistics, stopping suspicious scripts from slipping into secure spaces. 7 supercharged servers seamlessly store sensitive startup statistics from stopping suspicious scripts from slipping into secure spaces. 7 supercharged servers seamlessly store sensitive startup statistics from stopping.
Thank you.
Tangled code threads to troubleshoot tricky, time-sensitive technical troubles. 10 tiny tech teams tirelessly test Tangled code threads to troubleshoot tricky, time-sensitive technical troubles. 10 tiny tech teams tirelessly test Tangled code threads to troubleshoot tricky, time-sensitive technical troubles. 10 tiny tech teams tirelessly test Tangled code threads to troubleshoot tricky, time-sensitive technical troubles. 10 tiny tech teams tirelessly test Tangled code threads to troubleshoot tricky, time-sensitive technical troubles.
Fintech founders fiercely focus on forming flexible features that fuel financial freedom. 5 futuristic fintech founders fiercely focus on forming flexible features that fuel financial freedom. 5 futuristic fintech founders fiercely focus on forming flexible features that fuel financial freedom. 5 futuristic fintech founders fiercely focus on forming flexible features that fuel financial freedom. 5 futuristic fintech founders fiercely focus on forming flexible features that fuel financial freedom.
We'll just have to move on to the next thing. We'll be introducing an app to you.
Alright, so we have development. You forgot the two device saving. So what this app does is that it enables you to connect with a single QR code. You can scan on your pad and the person can scan, right? So I want you all to download and you move around and take and scan 5 people's profile. We're going to check. Are we understanding? So download. I think there's a way to skip registration, right? Yes, please. Okay, please. How do we know you? Yeah, so please create an account, enter your name and maybe your details. Then go to somebody whom you have been wanting to connect with and scan with them.
Just find you like
have one last session. Please. Is it working? Any issues, please?
Is it working?
Nobody is standing up.
Easy.
Yes, your people on your table do not count. Go to another table.
Because by now you should know all of them.
Still downloading.
Rice, your husband is in the crowd.
Stand up, stand up. Highest number of connects has a free t-shirt from our league. See, this people are seriously collecting member details. It is what it does.